and welcome. I am Jessica, and I am so honored and excited to be here with Óscar Ortega. Óscar, for me, is the essence of what this podcast is about. It's about the journey of following your intuition, your purpose, living life with intention, and then finding a spark of energy to give back to the community. So, Óscar, thank you so much for being here. Óscar is an international graphic designer and international photographer. He is born in a beautiful region of the Caribbean coast of Colombia. And we're going to follow his journey, how he left from this small village in Colombia to become such a successful graphic designer in the world and photographer, and then learn about this amazing foundation that he built to give back to his community in Betulia, Colombia. So again, Óscar, gracias por estar aquí. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you so much for your invitation to share a little bit of my story, and thank you so much for this introduction that is beautiful.
It is, Óscar. And tell me, because Óscar, you went to study in Medellin at the University for Graphic Design and Art, right?
Yes, yes, I moved to Medellin when I was 15 years old. So I studied advertising in Medellin in the
Oh,
90s.
in the 90s. Yeah, 15. And you came from this beautiful small village, right, in Colombia. And
Yes, yes. I came from the coast. It's a small town called San Juan de Betulia. It's a little town in Sucre. And yes, it was a completely different planet to Medellin where I moved at that age.
oh my God. Okay. And so when you left to Medellin, you had a vision. Was this okay? I want to go to a big city. I want to study art, or how was this transition to leave so young from your house?
Mm, so I finished high school, and then at some moment I had to take a decision like where to go, and of course I was super young, and then I went to Medellin because my brother was living there. But I
Oh,
always knew Medellin because I spent some vacations there, and I like it. So I think that was the place to go. It was like meant to be that I was going to Medellin to be with my brother there.
okay. And did you always know? So you went into the field of advertising, graphic design. Was this always like a calling for you, like a connection to connect with art and colors, or how?
Yes, from the beginning, since I was little, I was always creating, I was always painting, I was always trying to do sculptures, like always very visual. I'm very attracted to movies and film since I was little. But I didn't start advertising. I just started studying engineering, system engineering.
Oh,
And
wow.
then, but because it was not clear for me at that moment, and my brother was an engineer, and he kind of like direct me in that way. But then after a few months, I knew that that was not my call. I have to talk to my family and like really tell them that this is not what I want, and then I think that they were very nice and they understood, and I start then going to the school for advertising and graphic design, which I really feel that it was what I want to do.
Wow. So at a young age, you already had that call, right? Like that you made a
Yeah.
pivotal decision to answer it and to listen and to go in your own way, right?
Yes, 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 and to also like to say like I cannot do the other thing. So I was very young, but I try. But really quickly, I realized that I couldn't, that the other path was not my direction. I really want to continue what I really want to do. So I had to stand strong there to make the decision.
Yeah. Oh, I love that feeling though. I think that feeling, I think when we're young, also we just when we have that clear, yes, I want that. I'm going in that direction. And I think it's very courageous to go against like what the family says. but you said, I'm doing it. And then you studied and then decided to make the big move to California. Like, how did this unfold for you?
So yes, so I went to Medellin. I lived there for actually like 12 years.
Oh, okay.
It's a long time, and I started working in advertising agencies, and I was really enjoying my path. But at some moment, I want to live in a different country, and then I decided to go to California. I want to study English, and I want to see how is life in a different place. And at that moment, I think that Colombia was going through some hard time. So I think that I want to also like to try to live in a different place. Um, and 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 I think that I California was the good place to go at that moment. I think that it was a big change in my life, and I really like it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not so easy to get a job there. I think because you were kind of already connected to, would you say you've always been kind of connected to this voice? Like when you get the idea, then you say, okay, now I have to move. Now I want something different. And then you go for it. Or was it an easy transition to move to California? Like, did you find a job quickly or how did that manifest?
No, no, it was not easy. I think that all these decisions are not easy, but I knew that I have to do it. I want to do it, so I found the way to keep moving forward. No, so I moved there at the beginning to San Francisco. I had some family members that they live not far from San Francisco. So I called them and then I asked them if I can move with them for a little while. And I was with them for 1 week. Just 1 week after that, I found my own place. And then I just started like working in anything possible, like from waiter to bartender to anything until I learned English because I didn't know any English. And then I started like telling everyone that I went to school for advertising and graphic design. And then like things, I think that the world start to listen to you. And then like everything started like accommodating. No, it was like a transition period that I went through.
I love that because that's actually in manifestation in general. Sometimes we think like, okay, let's just have the vision, it's going to happen. But I think it's what you said, it's that feeling. You knew that you wanted something different. You knew that you needed to make it happen. And then as you put things in motion, the physical world started to shift for you and open its path,
No,
right?
totally, totally. Sometimes I think that the path is not clear, but the moment you start like moving in one direction, I think that the universe will start like putting things around you that like this is the right way, and then you continue. But at the beginning, like you don't really know what is gonna happen. But I think that the universe play around you for the things happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many studies right now also that express what the power of the heart, the emotion. When we have the emotion, that's such like a frequency, it's an energy that goes out into the world and actually manifests things. Because even though we can have some thoughts, I think we have to tap into the heart and be like, okay, what does my heart want? I trust in it, I believe in it, and then things start to happen. So yeah, so you became worked for advertising agencies in San Francisco, in LA, and you started building your kind of career in the corporate ladder, I would say, right? For the Latino agencies and international agencies, I would say.
Yes, 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 and I was really enjoying all that. I was doing good job with amazing people that I met, including you at that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, that was so amazing. We worked together in LA. That was so great.
So at that moment, it was very important because I think that I found in LA like a family around my job that they are still very close to me, and it's a lot of people that are close to my heart, and we work together. I really enjoy all this time creating because it was a lot of creativity involved. It was a lot of new things happening. So it was a really, really good period of my life.
Right. An expansion also for the Latino culture and community. We work for a Latino agency in America, and it was just so beautiful to be part of the empowerment for people to show, Latinos in a different light and through advertising. And yeah, having that community was also so beautiful.
Yes, uh, learning period because I had to say that yes, when I moved to US, I didn't understand exactly like the whole Latin community and all these things happening around. So it was very, very interesting for me to learn all that and in some way to it was also to learn about me at that moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And when you were in this environment, did you feel like there was always like a vision for something more that you wanted to achieve in your life? Or was it kind of like, okay, I'm present in the moment of advertising? Or did you have vision to become this photographer? Because he's also an amazing international photographer, capturing such beautiful portraits of the authenticity of each human and each individual that you photograph. And I feel like that is such like a spiritual connection. I mean, from my perspective, but how would you describe it? Like, well, let's talk about your photography. Did that begin also at the same time with the advertising career?
I think that I have always been attracted for the visuals, like I told you, like from the movies since I was little, the paintings, everything visual, like really, really attract me. And I think that photography is just one part of the whole thing. And I remember when the cell phones start, I started taking pictures in LA and I call it LA now. And I was like capturing little moments of LA on the street. And I always have this interest in for the photography. But when I moved to Paris was when I started like taking photography more serious. And then I start at the beginning, I just did it because I want to express myself in a very free way. I,
Mm.
I really didn't took it as a job. I was just thinking I just want to take pictures of the things that move me. I am always interested in people. So I like portraits. I started taking pictures of the street, doing a little bit of a street photography, and and then I started like moving on that path, but just for my pleasure. It was never meant to be that I become a photographer or that I'm going to be working on photography. It was actually a way to. I always see it as a way to stand up and say like, okay, this is what I want to do, or I don't want to brief, I don't want like someone approving or disapproving, because in advertising it's like that, like you work in a team and there is always someone telling you that this is okay or this is not okay. Even if you have creativity and you can express a lot of things, I really want like total freedom and do with photography what I want to do and don't have any brief or anyone telling me anything. I just want to express what I want.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Now I get it. Yeah, absolutely. Because in the advertising world, you're hired as a creative, but you don't have the full creative outlet or power to do it as you'd like. So, would you say, like, is this like a connection with your spirit or with God? How would you express this communication through photography or this urge, this desire to express yourself? I mean, is this just, do you think about these things or how would you express that?
No, totally, totally. And I think that yes, I think that when you think about freedom, you think about like yourself, about your interior, about all these ideas that are in your mind that you just want to put out there. and I think that is a way to connect with who you really are and with your spirit.
Exactly. Absolutely with the spirit that this is just like an expression of another part of us that also wants to be seen, that also wants to be felt, that also wants to live. And yeah, and I think for all of us, it's like a healing therapy to just have this other outlet of connecting with our soul and seeing what comes through and having, and like you said, it wasn't about an end result or anything else. It was more about you giving your allowing yourself to be free, right?
Exactly, exactly. And in some way, also, I always have this feeling of I want to share the beautiful things that I see. So,
Hmm.
so for me, like it was also that, like kind of like sharing my little moments and sharing my vision, and just way that maybe people connect with that, no, with an image and share the same vision or be attracted by that. So it was a combination of the two things, I think.
Of the two things, and it's beautiful. I just got like a feeling how this collaboration between the photographer, the muse, and the viewer, the person looking. It's like, many people think I'm not creative, this is not for me, but they feel so connected to photography or to art. So it's like this journey that we all kind of dance in. Like you're the one that puts it into the vision, and the person that sees it receives something, connects with it. And we're all kind of like, if you think of it energetically, like kind of dancing in this soup of life together through your vision, or you know what I mean? Is it's
Yeah,
really
no, no,
inspiring.
totally. And sometimes I take a picture and people react to that picture in a way that also I was not expecting, but also like awake something on me. And it's and that is very beautiful because it's like a complete circle of reaction.
Yes,
I-
exactly.
and people, everyone also react to different pictures or different images. I am always surprised how something that it can be very simple for me is very meaningful for someone else, and how that it spark something on people.
Oh my God, exactly. And that's what this podcast is about, is recognizing that we are this connected, interconnectedness, and that we need to awaken our openness or creativity, or just like admire, acknowledge, and just take some time to recognize this beautiful kind of chemistry that happens between this whole experience, like you were saying. And it's following your intuition, because just to go back to your journey, because I actually wrote a circle here also about your journey, because I love it how it continues on. I mean, you have worked with big international brands such as Coca-Cola, Revlon, Verizon, and many more when you were doing your advertising in America, and then you decided to just fly yourself to Paris. Tell me about that experience. Was that also a calling, or did the universe just open that path for you?
No, I think that this is a funny story, and if you believe in different lives, I think that maybe that can be one of the reasons because I was maybe 5, 6 years old in my hometown, and I was learning to write, and I remember I saw like in one book. The address in one of those yellow books, you remember?
Yes, the Yellow Pages.
The yellow pages that in my hometown there was just one office with one telephone, and I used to spend like a lot of time there because the woman that works there, she was like super good to me and good friend, and she also likes to write and paint, and then she helped me to paint, so I spent a lot of time with her. And then one day I saw this yellow book and I saw the ambassade of France, and then I just started like writing letters. I was just learning to write to the France embassy, and then they write me back. And then we start like a communication when I was like, yes, 6 years old until I was like maybe 9 years or 10 years. And they send me music, they send me uh, books, uh, all the maps from Paris. Years later, when I come to Paris, I knew Paris by heart. Like I always have like this obsession with Paris, and I don't know why I write to them, but since always I have been like this very strong attraction for this city, and I don't know why. It's super weird.
That is so magical. And I love this is like this is the dimension of reality that I love to live in is believe in this magic because that is not just accidental. I think that what was the inclination as a young child to write and the fact that they responded to you was already like this connection that maybe you couldn't explain. But there you arrived in Paris then. And so that was that always like a heart piece that you always
Yes,
wanted to move there?
yes. At some moment, I was in Los Angeles, and I say like, okay, like, I always want to live there. I want to try at least for 6 months. So, so I moved here, and the 6 months is now 14 years.
14 years.
But it was like I told you, it was super funny because I knew the city already in my head completely. My friends from here they joke because I know like so many songs from those times when that were like famous songs here in France, but because they send me like music, the embassy they send me music, so I know all this music. I know a lot of things about France that I learned when I was like super little.
Oh my God, Oscar, qué belleza. That's amazing. Oh my God. That's like, I don't know, that really just touches my heart because I see like the other realms, like the non-physical, and how this came to fruition. That's like exactly what I did with the circle. It's like the journey. So we're here with you now, something that as a young child, you began this dialogue, you continued following your path and then moved to, you know what I mean? Like living your truth, because that's what you wanted to do was creativity, trusting. Would you say you always had trust like in kind of I don't know, energy or God or universe? Were you always kind of trusting, faithful person?
Yes, yes, I have this trust. I think that the universe is like arrange things for you if you put the energy out there.
Yeah.
So I do believe on that. I am not very like religious person, but I consider myself more spiritual, and I always have faith and think that if you put the good energy up there, like I think that the whole world works around that for you. So
Absolutely. And I
yeah.
think also having a good heart is the key to it. And you have such a big heart. I think that's another part of you that makes this story so compelling and so beautiful is that, you continued during your time in Paris, going back to Colombia, to your hometown. And now we're going to touch on this amazing decision or idea that was born from a time that was kind of like a grieving process, I would say. You moved back home in 2000, around 2000. Or maybe you tell us the story how you began this amazing project with Amigos del Parque.
Okay. No, I think that the first thing that I want to say is that I always keep the connection with Colombia and with my hometown. My mother was there, my family, so I keep a strong connection even if I was always in different places. Uh, I go back every time that I could, and also going back to the first thing that we talk about sharing with the photography. I
Mhm.
think that also I I, I always got the feeling that I want to share things with the people there. I think that I feel very lucky that I have access to a lot of things, and I have access to museums, to art, to a lot of different things that I can see every day. And then every time that I was going there, I tried to share something. Sometimes we do like cinema. Sometimes we try to do like a photography class. One time I met this amazing pianist here in Paris.
Okay.
He also wanted to share his knowledge and his things. And then he told me that he would like to take the piano to places that never have seen a piano. And then I told him, okay, have the place, the perfect place. So we did this amazing project too, to taking the piano there in a town that never have seen a piano.
Oh my God.
And it was an incredible experience because the piano went from Bogota, uh, just the image of putting the piano in the middle of the plaza. It was beautiful visual, that from a movie, and and then he interact with the people and he played the piano, classical music, but also with local musicians that use the drums and use the local instruments. So that was super beautiful. But every time I was like trying to do like little things when I could, like to share things with the people in my hometown. And and okay, like in 2022, my mother become sick, and then I went to spend time with her. So I think that it was like during 5 months I was there in the last days of her life. And it's so funny because I was in my head, I was thinking that, okay, now probably I'm going to have less connection with my hometown because if she dies, like probably there is like less reasons to go back there. But then life works in these
Mm.
ways, and then I start creating this project that is called La Ruta del Color, and I organize a group of friends called Amigos del Parque. We start doing different actions for the hometown, and it's very ironically, but then my mother died, and now I am going more often there. And I was thinking that maybe it's gonna be the opposite, but now I am more connected with my hometown, and I think that is also thanks to her.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, that's so beautiful, Oscar. And also, I mean, when we go to the beginning of you always wanting to bring the art back to your hometown and always wanting to expose them, like a part of you was still connected to your hometown and giving back, right? Like it has it been like sharing art or other perspectives is such a I think a life-giving feeling, right? Like feeling alive to be giving back. I think that's a lot of us sometimes search, how can I give back? What can I do? Like the intention is there, but I don't matter. One person can't make a difference. And I think that through your journey, you started with small projects, right? You started just saying, talk to somebody, then they want to bring a piano, but like that brought so much of an effect to the people that have been exposed to it, right? So it starts.
Or even one day just projecting photographies in a wall, like, and then we start talking about photographies, and people start like sharing their feelings. I think that all that, it's like little actions that help, and for mm, to do that you don't need a lot of money. I think that you just need like ideas and kind of like to really want to share and be generous about sharing, and wanting to connect with other people.
And I think that's the essence of what our new earth needs is to have a little bit of that compassion and that feeling and connection to our neighbors, to our countries, or wherever, just even to our everyday people we live is like walking with that intention to recognize first that we're all connected and to be giving back in any way that we can. I feel like it's a beautiful intention to wake up with that purpose. And for you with the Ruta del Color, so do you want me to explain a little bit about what this is? Because it's a big foundation now, I would say, that has really been leaving, affecting so many families in your community. And also you've been recognized by the Colombian government in a sense as an organization, right, that gives back to the communities. Do you want to talk a little bit about this idea that was created in the plaza of your town, right? I mean, and then now has is really so successful.
Yes, yes, yes. So my hometown has been very uh, abandoned by the government and corruption and all the things that happen in a country like Colombia. And I'm sure a lot of people can understand that in different countries. So, like I told you, every time that I go, I try to share something, but at that time, I was really focusing on recovering the park because the park of the hometown was never finished. They cut the trees and they like when you arrived there, there was like really not a lot of life. So with a group of friends, create a group called Amigos del Parque.
Mm.
And the whole idea was to bring love to that space, to start planting trees and recovering the space. And we start collecting money with the people. Everyone helped in the town, and that was very beautiful because sometimes people that have like nothing, they give me. For me, that was like very touchy because he showed me like how uh, like the generosity of people and people just wanting also like some direction. No, because I seen that when they saw that we start like doing something, like I seen that everybody was like uh, amazed and also like they want to do something. It was like a wave of
Right.
good feel. So we start recovering the park. I create a design with the no, with the name of the town because also I was thinking that okay, this is a town that doesn't even have like a name. Like sometimes cars drive by and they don't even know what is what are they
A
crossing.
sign. There's no sign you're entering into.
Exactly. It's a little bit like magic realism from Garcia Marquez.
Oh, yes.
It was like in 100 years of solitude, there is a park called the sickness of la enfermedad del olvido. I don't know how
Oh,
to.
a forgetting, a forgetfulness, or yeah. Oh, wow.
Because the whole town like forgot everything, and they even forgot the names of the things, and then they start putting signs on the things to remember the names, and later they forgot the meaning of the letters. So the whole town went in a kind of like I don't know how to say like in
Like
this.
vanished, right? Like suddenly it
Uh,
was slowly dissipating because there was
exactly,
no
exactly.
attention, right? Like it was going kind of fading out.
Exactly, and in some way, like I think that I this part of that book remind me a little bit what was happening because there was not even a name, and when we put a name, I think that people start like realizing that okay, we are there, we exist, we can do things together, and and then the whole town start like changing up.
Yeah, and I think that's so beautiful what you're saying now too. It's like you guys, your friends came up with this spark, this idea. Something was born out of desire. And through that, you gave people purpose. Like it's like they started to say, "Oh, I have something to do. I want to do something." So your idea was also then influenced by the author, and that his story, obviously the most famous Colombian author, but also just saying, how it's connected. We're all in this connection. And now, what you've done is restored over, I think, 40 houses right now. There's been, so let's start the process. The community began involved and it started with one house, one
Yes,
very typical Colombian, right?
yes. Right now we have restored 52 houses,
52
and
now. Wow.
then we start with that idea that I have that these beautiful traditional houses that are very connected to the land because they are made with clay, with bamboo, with palm trees for the roof. It's something very local and very connected to who we are in that region. So, like people, when they got a little bit of money, they destroy that house and they build a new one with bricks and new
Okay.
materials that are really uh, no beautiful and also no with zero connection with the land and with who we are and with the planet, I think, because these houses are like the old houses are very fresh for the weather. They are very
There-
uh, they feel like home, and they have a lot of history, and they have a lot of connection with our past.
Yes, they represent the culture, they represent, and I think that's what you talk about. You try to showcase the heritage, showcase the Colombian, like celebrate our history and not fall into the trap of modernization, but also, yeah, because those things will never come back.
Exactly, and they are beautiful, and they are super connected with everything that we are. So I kind of like I want to focus on that. I think also that when you when you leave a place and you go back, you are able like to see things that really shows who you are, or this place has to show to the world, no? And I think that when I go back, I always like these houses, and then I start recovering the houses. We start with one, and like people really join and really like the idea. Every house, like we painted with uh, like a mural in front
Right.
related to the people who lives in the house. So it's also like kind of like a homage to
Yes.
to the people and to their history and to their jobs.
Yes,
And
their jobs. I'm going to put some of the in the video, but if somebody was in charge of collecting fruits from the farms, then you guys did this beautiful, colorful fruits that represented their core, their purpose, their life, right?
exactly. Like for example, like this woman, she sell fish. She has sell fish all her life, and then we did a beautiful design that is with fishes, and also like that made her really proud about her job that before maybe she was not that proud, and now she's proud about that. And also like people know that she sell fishes, and when someone draws by, like recognize that, and then she can sell more, and it's like a whole uh,
Cycle,
connection of
right?
things that happen around that for me when I started doing it, I didn't realize that all these things could happen. I want to do it for them, but then it become like something bigger.
That's so beautiful. And I think that gives us a little like, I mean, for me especially, it's like just following one step at a time, answering the call and saying like, okay, I have an idea, then move forward with it. the path will open up, the magic will unfold, but as long as you continue on that path, you never know where it will take you, right? And I mean, from your community, I read that they had no travelers coming through, and now they're averaging over 2,000 a month. There's like little tourist shops opening up, right? It's created an economy.
Exactly, that have been very helpful for the economy of the town and also like for the pride of everyone there, because it was a town that people just passed by and there were no like someone really coming there to see the town. So it's very, very interesting all the things that are happening because that awakes a lot of good feelings and it's like a domino effect. And I think that the energy of the town had changed, and uh, and it's really incredible. Like I really didn't know that all this is going to happen with that small action.
So beautiful. Oh, that's so inspiring. And I think, like, I love to talk about energy work because now a lot of what we feel can be shown scientifically that it does create an effect in the frequency of the planet, the quantum energy field, that as more people start to wake up to this purpose, to their worth, like being I am worthy, this I am proud of who I am. Even this effect in the Caribbean coast, it wakes up more energy in the world. I mean, these conversations, you never know. We all have our own little purpose, our big purpose, our own ideas that can expand into projects that I think, never even can imagine. But I think you're a perfect example of somebody that has been guided by the heart, giving back, connected to source, because you really do have this creative connection to your spirit and you're trusting of the path. And you show us how, a young boy with 5 riding to Paris, now living the dream, and then is going back to his community and waking up the next generation and bringing so much light to that town is amazing, Oscar.
Thank you.
Felicitaciones.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I am very happy that you like it, and yes, I am really enjoying the whole path and the whole project, and I think that for me it's very important, like to tell people also that you don't need to be there in the territory all the time. Like you can do things from far away. You can really change with little actions. And I think that without realizing, you start doing little things, and then the whole uh, planet is showing you like more and more, and then it's really beautiful like how at the end, like a lot of people can get affected in a good way by that, but at the beginning, like you just have to start with something little, and I think that the changes and start like that.
Mm, that's so beautiful, Scott. Absolutely. It's so funny. I have this children's book here. I wanted to show you, but it's in German, but it's like, Was macht man mit einer Idee? What do you do with an idea? And it's exactly what you said. It's like a picture book where the kid has this spark and then it's like small and how he feeds it and it gets bigger and bigger and then turns into this beautiful masterpiece. And I think even us as adults now, like we can still tap into this power. And like you said, it's like not think so how is it possible? Just start, right?
Hmm. No, totally, totally, and I think that at the beginning we were just a group of friends. Later, we create the foundation that is called Amigos del Parque,
Okay.
and then now we are like a fundación. We are a foundation, and we continue with a lot of more projects, and we have a lot of ideas, and we are now like really more focused, like looking for partners and people who wants to get involved in all the beautiful things that are happening there.
That's exactly, yeah. So how can we get involved? I mean, I will definitely put the link and everything in the podcast so that people can that are interested. Because a lot of times people feel like, oh, okay, I don't know how to start, I don't know who to trust. But obviously, in speaking to you, it could wake up a lot of people that just want to be a part of something.
Yes, totally, totally. And it's a fun project. There is so many ways to get involved. Of course, you can always donate, but also it can be super beautiful. Like when someone goes there and share their things. I have friends that are artists or photographers or any kind of thing that you had to share, musicians, I invite you to come there to a little town in the Caribbean coast of Colombia and share with the people and share with the community what you have to share. And I'm sure that people are going to love it, and people there is very open to everything that came. So you don't have to worry about food or anything, because I'm sure that people is going to really embrace and share with you on the same way that you will share your your soul with the people. So I think that people uh, would enjoy that a lot.
That's so beautiful. And like you said, it will be an exchange because we learn so much going back to the simplicity of life, to the roots, to the core of who we are as humans. And people, in certain parts outside of the cities or just in general are so connected to just the moment. And I know that anyone visiting, I just got inspired. I want to go interview the people that you've worked with. I'm gonna go. Vamos a Colombia. Vamos, te voy. Let's do it. But it's
No, you can, or you can you imagine that, like, you have these podcasts that you talk about energy and about all these beautiful things. You can go there and also like share all the things that you know with the people from there, or do yoga with the people, or like so many things that we had to share. And sometimes yes, people don't realize. So it's an invitation for the people to think like, okay, maybe I can share that with that community, and I think that is a win-win situation for everyone.
Absolutely. And I just got a feeling also, and it's sharing our internal magic because each of us are so unique and so different. And we all have something, like you said, you can donate, and that's beautiful, but it's also like just sharing your soul expressions, sharing your soul purpose. And that's really what this podcast is about, is like having people as like you that are such an inspiration that can show us that we can always start. It always starts with a small idea, even with myself. So this is so beautiful to witness and to be a part of, Oscar. So thank you so much. Mil gracias. Y voy a poner un poquito de mi gorro colombiano. A ver, un poquito de salsa para terminar.
And we have all the colors, so
And
perfect
we got La Ruta
for,
del Color. That's over
for,
here. Yeah,
to
that's
talk
the name
about
of the,
color.
yeah, the way. I love that. La Ruta del Color, the path of color, the path of spirit, connecting and living, feeling alive, living with purpose. So,
Yes,
está Oscar.
no, no, it's super beautiful. You had to come, and everybody that watched this should come and be part of this, because it's something very beautiful that really feel your heart.
Absolutely. And we all need more of that. Our heart to be filled and to remember that our heart first and then mind, it's this beautiful connection. So, Oscar Ortega, mil gracias. Thank you so much. This has been so beautiful. And I'm excited to see the expansion as it continues forward. And we'll put on the information and see how people can contribute, because I think a lot of people will be inspired from this conversation.
Okay, thank you so much for showing my project to the people, and for letting me share like uh, my path.
Exactly, a beautiful path. All right,
Uh,
guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. Oscar, mil gracias, as I said, and we will be sharing all this information so that you can tap on his links and everything else. So wishing you guys all a beautiful day.
okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.